Do you have a peaceful heart? Or maybe that feels impossible in our busy, stressed out world today. And that's why I want to share with you some inspiration from a 13th century mystic who talks about goodness, peace, harmony, and finding our life purpose. I'm Amy Rose, and I have a holistic counseling and consulting practice in Florida. And I also have a spiritual mentoring program for people who don't want counseling, but they just want someone to walk with them and illuminate the spiritual path they're on. And I believe that all spiritual paths meet in the middle, and that we share this common intention of connecting to the light inside of us and using it for good in the world outside of us. And we usually start our work together with exploring these 8 lines from a passage that St. Francis wrote in the 1200s. And this is the first in a series of 3 videos. And this video is about the first 2 lines from this passage, which say, "The peace you proclaim with your words must dwell more abundantly in your heart." So that means we can't just say, "I want peace in the world." We have to embody that and allow it to radiate out into the world around us. So what stops us from doing that? And at the end of the video, we're going to actually do a little exercise so you can practice really radiating and connecting with your heart and radiating peace. So if you think about the language that we tend to use, we're always battling something, whether it's our weight, our health, our procrastination, depression, anxiety, all the things that we worry about. And then we have wars and the world outside of us, literally, and then the war on poverty and injustice and inequality. And all of those are incredibly important things that we have to attend to and resolve at their root cause. But the way that we go about doing that, a lot of times, just creates a complete lack of harmony and peace in the world. And so it's time to really explore how you can make a difference by being a peaceful-hearted person. And you know, this battle that we have inside of us mirrors the split between our hearts and our minds. So it could be helpful to think about the definition of the word dwell. It means to live in, and think of the expression we use, what are you dwelling on? And maybe the better question is to ask yourself, what am I allowing to live and dwell in my mind? And for most of us, it is some form of stress. And stress is the lack of something, the lack of time, resources, money, hope, power, and all of us are dealing with stress in our lives. Very few of us are dwelling on what is good that brings us happiness and joy. And I am not for a second suggesting that any of us ignore human suffering and bury our heads in the sand. In fact, the exact opposite is true. But what I've come to understand is that once we allow peace to dwell in our hearts, then we can allow more inner resources to grow, like generosity and well-being and harmony. And that's going to be the second video in the series, how to allow those attributes to grow. And then once that happens, we actually have access to creativity, inspiration, and innovation, which are what we need to really solve these problems in the world outside of us, collectively and globally. And so that's going to be the 3rd video in our series, because that's really about your life's purpose. How can you use your unique expression of light that brings you joy and can benefit the world around you? So let's do a little exercise where we practice dropping from our busy minds into our hearts. And before we get started, I just want to remind you that dwelling abundantly means that you have more than enough. And if you're sensitive and kind and an empath and worry about human suffering like I do, which you probably are all those things if you're watching this video, then we really have to come from an abundant place of more than enough, where our cup is full. Otherwise, we become resentful, exhausted, drained, and then have compassion fatigue. So this is an exercise that I do all day long and practice, and I want to share it with you because this is how we can really allow peace to live abundantly with more than enough in our hearts so we can give it away easily. So why don't you close your eyes and get comfortable. And if for some reason you're not comfortable closing your eyes, that's fine. You can soften your gaze, or you could look at the image that I've posted on the screen. And we're just going to begin slowly with 3 gentle breaths. Inhaling in, exhaling out. Inhaling in, exhaling out. One more breath in, and this time just slow your exhale down and sink into whatever you're sitting on, letting it hold you up a bit. And the next time you inhale, slow your exhale and imagine there are roots coming from the bottom of your spine and your feet if they're on the floor, gently reaching down far and wide, deeper and deeper and deeper into the earth. And then just imagine your mind. Maybe it's your brain, just your head, but imagine that you can surround it or send it this golden, warm light of appreciation and thanks, letting it know we appreciate your busy, busy mind and all the ways it's trying to help you and keep you safe and use logic to solve problems. And just let your mind know this is a really safe, warm, respectful energy, and see if it's allowed to just rest a little, surrounded in that ocean of light. And then let's see if it's possible to just drop your awareness and your energy down into your heart. And some people experience this as a heart space that has beautiful color. Maybe it's a cup or a chalice or a chamber or someplace beautiful. There's no right or wrong. But just let yourself drop into this place where peace already resides. And let it welcome you in the way that you would feel welcomed if you were to go wherever you dwell at home, feeling safe. And just see if your heart has any wisdom or message it wants to offer you about anything you could do or not do to experience more peace in the world inside of you. And then we're just going to thank your heart for welcoming you, and thank your mind for allowing us to drop into your heart. And then just take another breath or two, open your eyes, and come back to the here and now and this time and space. And I would love to hear, maybe post in the comments what that was like for you. Were you able to get out of your mind and drop into your heart? And if not, that's okay. This takes practice. And if you enjoyed this experience and liked this video, subscribe to Delight the World. And please remember this. Some days you can give the light. Some days you just need to receive the light. And wherever you are in your journey of being the light, you are always welcome to connect here at Delight the World for hope, healing, and illumination.